Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to start by congratulating you on your election to Congress and to chairing the first subcommittee hearing here today. Wish you well, look forward to working with you. This is now, though, the 7th oversight hearing related to climate change that the majority is holding this month. Starting with a full committee hearing, it's been a bit concerning how this all fits within this committee's jurisdiction. As Republican Leader Bishop stated at the full committee hearing earlier this month, we would ask that the majority, as was our practice when we served in the majority, to comply with Rule 4C of the committee's rules so that to the extent practicable, the majority staff shall make publicly available a memorandum explaining the subject matter of the hearing. This way, all of us, including the public, have a little notice as to the purpose of the hearing. It appears the witnesses invited by the majority today will focus on topics of discussion, including football, concussions, opioid addiction, OSHA, and epidemiology. These matters are all clearly outside the jurisdiction of the Committee on Natural Resources and its subcommittee per the rules of the U.S. House of Representatives. House Rule 10, which outlines the organization of committees in their jurisdiction, clearly indicates that matters related to commerce, biomedical research and development, as well as health and health facilities, belong to the jurisdiction of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Matters related to labor standards or occupational safety are most appropriately handled by the Education and Labor Committee. We'll say, sure, there are things that we could agree on here. I think it is outrageous the way the pharmaceutical industry took advantage of how easily people were addicted to opioids and made big profits, but did massive damage to the country. But again, that's not within the purview of this committee. So when it comes to matters related to climate change, the House rules explicitly references several topics. Topics include those such as conservation of energy resources, almost anything to do with renewable energy, national energy policy, environmental research, scientific research, the National Science Foundation, and even the National Weather Service. None of these areas falls within the jurisdiction of this committee. Instead, these are unambiguously listed under the jurisdictions of either the Energy and Commerce Committee or Science, Space, and Technology Committee. What does fall within the Natural Resources Committee's jurisdiction includes wildlife conservation. That's exactly why this committee should be interested in focusing on modernizing laws like the Endangered Species Act. Last Congress, I introduced the SAVES Act, which was a bipartisan bill designed to enhance the conservation and welfare of non-native endangered species bred in captivity. Forests and public lands also fall within the Natural Resources Committee jurisdiction. Topics such as the need for long-term legislative solutions to continue and improve revenue sharing payments to counties through the U.S. Forest Service Secure Rural Schools program is critical. Over 700 counties across the United States receive funding from the program. I was just in Sabine County, probably my most rural county this weekend. They point out again, the county judge said back in the 80s we were getting around 1.6 million, not from taxpayer money, but as our share of the revenue off production of pine trees being harvested, a fantastic renewable research. Yet last year they got $64,000 as their share. It's hard to maintain a school in a county when the federal government has most of the land and you can't tax it. So these are things we ought to be dealing with. Based on the title of today's hearings, it seems that the majority is focused on science and public health issues, which are great. It's just we don't have that jurisdiction, but not within our jurisdiction. So it can be inferred from the hearing's title, there's industry denial about climate change. For whatever problems that climate change poses to the welfare of Americans, I hope we can focus on finding reasonable solutions and encourage innovation to address our problems. I don't think there's any denying we should seek practical policies to help reduce pollution, promote good environmental stewardship. The ideas of eliminating cows or air travel are not promising starting points. That said, it appears today's hearing topic is well outside our jurisdiction and per House Rule 10 and the reasons I've stated, I would move that we adjourn.